Yo, what's up guys? Back with another video, back with another banger. Today I'm standing. Let me see if I can get a better angle. Hold on. Ah, today I'm standing, guys. Because the reason why I'm standing is because I think today's message, today's word of the day. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. I think today's word of the day is important. It's one of the most, well, not most important. Well, it's important. It's very, very important, especially for my generation. Just the youth in general, nowadays youth in general. This message is very important for us as a youth in general. And that message is stop wasting your time on boyfriends and girlfriends. Come on. Okay. So that's the title of the video. Stop wasting your time with relationships that's not going somewhere. So, obviously it's the week of Valentines. So, yesterday at my school, a bunch of people went out to their uh, Valentine with flowers and cardboard that says, "Will you be my Valentine?" and all those things, and there's a whole crowd following them. It happened probably like 3 times yesterday. And they went, and it's like, I was thinking to myself, bro, we're still in school. Why are you caring about other people? You know, I can't use myself in this example. If I could, I really would have. But I learned this lesson already. I already learned this lesson. And it blows my mind that other people don't see it in the way I see it. Even ever since I was little, when I saw relationships, when I saw people being like, "Hey, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend," or you see, like I see them like they're hanging out with this person, in a romantic way. I'm always thinking to myself, okay, this person has the intention of marrying the other person, just to find out the next week that person's with another person. Or next year they broke up. Now that guy never ever wants to get together with a girl anymore. Or that girl never wants to get together with a man anymore. And that stops them from one day getting married. Let me close my window. That stops them from one day getting married. Why? Because they wasted their time with relationships at youth. Let me tell you, almost every single relationship that I have had and that I have seen in high school, in school in general, I'm not talking about college. College is still an exception. But in school, almost every single relationship that I have physically witnessed, now they either broke up, or when you go ask them, okay, there's here and there, there's some people that's been together ever since I've been in high school. I've been in high school for like 3 years almost. That's still not so long, but I haven't heard of many people that are married now, that they are married with a high school girlfriend. Why? Because when you're in high school, when you're a teenager, hold on, I'm back. So, when you're a teenager, that's the stage of your life where you're learning. You're going through experiences and you're learning from them. So, why would you want to interrupt that learning with wasting your time on relationships? Your teenager, being like your teenage years, right? That's laying your foundation for the rest of your life. If you are not spending your whole time, your fully all your time on laying that foundation is going to be shaky, and it's going to be to the point where you're in your 30s and you're still building onto that what's the word, foundation, and you never end up finishing that relationship. Why do I go back to relationship? You never end up finishing that foundation because your opportunity that you had, you missed it. You were wasting your time. As a teenager, when you're a teenager, I can say this from my own experience. I'm speaking to my own people at the moment. When you're a teenager, that's when you're still in school. So you still have an opportunity to learn social skills. you still have the opportunity to learn, like to be educated, to learn educational skills. You're in a space where you can learn like physical skills, skills where you can one day make into a job. Skateboarding, playing drums, you know, anything. Because when you're older, it's harder for you to learn things. When you're a teenager, you grasp things quickly. It's like quick, 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 quick. You learn it, you understand it. Your mind is still young, your mind is still fresh. Why would you want to interrupt that with wasting your time on a girl or a guy? I'm not saying don't date, but what I am saying is don't date while you're in school. Or don't date when you're not physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually mature. That is why I'm still single. And it's logical for me to think that. It's logical for me to be single because of that very reason. Some people, they are single for whole different reasons because they have trauma. And it's their own fault because they enter into a high school relationship. Don't get me wrong. I was in my own high school relationship. I'm coming, hold on. I'm back. Okay. So when you're in a high school relationship, it's two people, two teenagers, right? Hopefully. I've heard about people that had relationships with older people. But anyways, moving on. When you're in a high school relationship, it's you and that other person. It's a teenager and a teenager. You're going through your own life, learning your own lessons, learning your own skills at your own pace. You're slowly maturing at your own pace. Then there's another person that's also maturing, learning their lessons. And you're both figuring out what you want to do one day when you're done with school. You're both figuring out what's the direction that you're going to. What is your path in life? What is your purpose? That's when you're going through all that. And if your purpose doesn't align with that person's purpose, if your walk does not align with hers or with his, it's not gonna work out. I can't walk. I can't walk in the highway and in a one way at the same time. It's not possible. You can't do that. And that's what most people don't understand. They think, wow, this person is beautiful. And that's the only reason they go and date that person. Other people, they're like, wow, okay, this person has the same mindset as me. Okay, I want to date you. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Because even though they might have the same mindset as you, even though they might be pretty, even though they might be handsome, even though they might have all these characteristics, they might tick all your boxes that you think of when you think of your dream husband or your dream wife. You have like this category, this box. They have to tick all those boxes. Even if they tick all those boxes, if they if their walk does not align with yours, if their journey, their path does not align with yours, it's never gonna work. Also, when you're in a high school relationship, you are focusing too much on your relationship and not focusing on others' relationship. When in high school, that's when you observe. That's when you observe. You're observing how people that have the same purpose as you, people that are walking in the same purpose as you are, people that are walking in that's like let's say skateboarding for instance. Let's say I want to become a skateboarder. That's my teenage years is my time. It's my opportunity to observe at professional skateboarders. It's my opportunity, my time to observe how they live, how they do it, how they make money. What exactly do they do? How much money do they make? Is it worth it? How does like their job, their work affect their lives? That's your time to observe. Let's put it into this context now. When you're a teenager, that's when you observe how healthy families and healthy relationships work. You observe how does the man react, how does the woman react. You observe how does the man respond when the woman asks a question, or how do they how do each other, like how do they respond to each other? Let's say when one is irritated, how does the other one respond? What does the other one do? You know? Do they sort it out like grown-ups? Because that's also, if you don't have if you don't spend your time on observing healthy relationships, and you are blinded to the point where you're looking at every single relationship, and you're learning something from all of that, that's also going to mess you up. If you are looking at your friend's relationship and comparing your relationship to that person, it's not going to work, because you're trying to be someone that you're not. That person, your best friend, his relationship is probably more mature than yours, or it's probably less mature than yours. So then you're going to try and you're going to compromise so that you fit in, and no relationship fits in. But there are two categories that they might fit in: a healthy relationship and a non-healthy relationship. This is all that I have learned from observing. I've been single for the last 3 years. This is what I've been observing, what I've been learning. You know, there's the healthy relationships. I've realized that healthy relationships, when the woman or the man gets irritated, the other one, they respond with a soft voice. And the woman starts, you know, calming down. That's a healthy relationship. An unhealthy relationship, it's this: the woman or the man gets irritated. That causes the other one to get irritated, and they start shouting at each other. And when one tries to change something, when he tries, let's say the man, or the man tries to, let's say the man tries to change, Now when the woman gets irritated, he tries reacting to her in the same way that then the man in the healthy relationship responded to his wife. But what's gonna happen is this. Hold on. What's gonna happen is this. It's the wife. Okay? She's irritated, she's screaming. Here's the husband. He talks calmly, slowly, tries to calm her down. But she's not gonna calm down, because you didn't start your relationship the right way. Every relationship has its own foundation. There's a time that you have where you're building that foundation. And there's one of two foundations that you can build. It's a healthy foundation, or it's an unhealthy foundation. So if your foundation is unhealthy, nothing that you're gonna do is gonna work unless both of you try to change and you both realize that you are both wrong. And in teenage years, let's be realistic. Not the man or the woman is gonna realize that. Because when you're a teenager, your mindset is everything is about me. Because you're under stress. It's the stress of school. It's the stress of what you're gonna do one day if you haven't figured that out. It's the stress of, are you gonna have a job one day? It's the stress of, you need money for certain stuff. Maybe you're in a poor household and you don't have enough income for a certain school trip, or for this or this and this and this and this. It's just stress upon stress upon stress. And it starts giving you the mindset where everything is about me. What can I do that's going to benefit me? What can I do that's going to bring me money? What can I do that's going to bring peace and calmness to my soul? And, most of the time, what teenagers use to calm themselves down, to relieve that stress, it's alcohol, it's cigarettes, it's weed, it's drugs. It's my little brother Archie. It's relationships. If you enter a relationship just because you are feeling hurt, if you're entering into a relationship just because you want to feel loved, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Because what you're expecting is this. You love that person. You love that person. You love that person. You love that person. But eventually, you want that person to love you back. You buy her gifts. You expect her to buy you gifts back. And I'm gonna put it in the same way. I can't remember who the guy is, but I went on a course. It's called Relentless Love or something like that. But I was on that course, and the guy who ran the course, he described it in such a beautiful way. It's either you're loving with straight arrow love or hook love. Hook love is you're loving with the expectation of getting something in return. Straight arrow love is loving without a condition, loving unconditionally, the same way that God loves us. Yeah. So you can't expect to have a healthy relationship if you're accepting something in return. Hold on, I'm coming. And teenagers don't realize that. They want they want to love, like they enter into a relationship because they want to feel loved. They're expecting love in return. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not the healthy mindset. That's not the mindset to enter into a relationship with. Or they're entering into a relationship because they want to fit in. That's obviously not going to work because you're not loving with true love. So, yeah, man, just, you know, just don't enter into a high school relationship. That's just the best, man. That's just stay single, man. Don't try and fit in. I don't know why why has it become popular to enter into multiple relationships? Why? I don't understand it. I don't understand why. I don't even know, man. I don't know why this generation kind of like put it into culture, into like this generational culture where it's part of the culture where you enter into a relationship the next day you're out. Or you enter into a relationship today, next year you're out. Or you sleep with this person tonight, tomorrow with another. Why is it a competition with how many people you can sleep with? Why is it a competition with how many boyfriends or girlfriends you can have? Why? Why is that popular? You're taking away the meaning. The like literally you're taking away the sole purpose of entering into a relationship. That's to get married one day. What's the point of stepping into a relationship? What's the point of being with someone and saying like, "Hey, I love you. Can we be together?" If you have no intention of being with that person for the rest of your life, and you don't play your part, you don't do your best to be with that person the rest of your life. One argument comes, a single argument comes, and it's like it just blows into pieces, and you leave each other. That is because you didn't spend your time to observe how to sort out relationships. But guys, come on, man. Why? Why? I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. I really don't. It's like it makes no sense to me, you know? Hold on, let me open the door for my little brother. I don't understand it. I'm telling you guys, I don't. It confuses me so much. It's what? I don't understand it, man. It confuses me so much. What's the point of entering into a relationship if you don't have the intention of marrying that person, you know? I can promise you guys, The reason why I don't want a relationship right now is because I don't know. Okay. The reason why I refuse to enter into a relationship right now is literally because there is a person I like. I'm not gonna lie. There is a person that I like, and if you know, you know. If you know me, you know. But even if I had the opportunity, even if that person that I like came up to me and asked me out on a date or asked me to start dating them, I won't do it. Why? Because I only know that person for like 2 years. That's not long enough for me. You can't say you know a person. Let's put it into a school environment. Let's say you're at school and you have a school crush. That just because she's pretty doesn't mean you know her. Just because she's in your school or she's been in your class for 3 years does not mean you know her. That only means you know her school personality. You know her alter ego. Because let's be realistic. You are not yourself when you're out in public. You are not yourself when you're in school. You are not yourself when you're not at home. It takes years upon years to get to know someone's true colors, their true morals, the true way they think. I'm not entering into a relationship if I don't know that person. If I don't know how that person acts at home, if I don't know that person's values, if I don't know what that person likes and does not like, if I don't know what's that person's purpose, if I don't know that person, truly know them, I'm not I'm not gonna enter into a relationship. And that's the mindset that we should all have. I don't know why we don't have our generation doesn't have it. It's literally it's like logical to think that. But they made it culture to for some reason take it out. The whole purpose of having a relationship is literally to not be alone. What is the point of having a special person in your life, living with someone, if literally it's only wasting your time? Because I can promise you, the reason of a relationship, the reason why God made two people, two genders, is not because, no, it's not because He thought that, oh wow, yeah, there needs to be two people so that they can repopulate the world. No, that's not why God created two people. It's not because, oh yeah, this guy needs love. If there wasn't a second gender, Adam wouldn't have known what love from a human being feels like. He wouldn't know that he needs it because he got love from God. The reason why God made a second gender is because, listen, it's because, hold on, let me get my words right. Let me get my words right. It's because you can't walk a walk on your own. It's gonna start getting boring, or you're gonna start becoming unmotivated. So you need someone to hold you accountable. You need someone to keep you motivated, to keep you going, someone to walk with you. It's like going to the gym. If I'm gonna go alone to the gym, best believe I'm gonna need so much motivation. And so much motivation, yeah. And self-control and self-discipline to stay consistent in it. And God knows that there's gonna be days that we're gonna slip up. And that days are gonna start building up. One day is gonna lead to another, and another into another, and another into another. And eventually it's a week, then eventually it's a month, then eventually it's a year, then eventually it's a decade that you didn't go to the gym. Because there was no one to hold you accountable. I can tell you firsthand, working out, going to the gym, so much easier and so much funner to go with a friend. Because Let's say you're unmotivated. That person's gonna start motivating you. Let's say that person's unmotivated. He's gonna start motivating you. Let's say you're both unmotivated. You're gonna start motivating each other. So, that's why God gave us a second gender. That's why God made a second gender. That's why He made a second gender. Because He knows. He knew that if Adam was gonna walk a walk with God alone, he's gonna start getting bored. And he's gonna be like, what's the point? He's gonna get too familiar. There's gonna be no one to hold him accountable. And there's gonna be no one to motivate him to go to the gym. And who knows? Maybe eventually he's gonna be like, that's gonna start like making him feel lonely, but not in a way where he needs someone else. In a way where he's like so bored. He's bored. Not depressed. Not that version of loneliness, but bored. That version of loneliness. And unmotivated, unencouraged. That's why. That's why. That's why when Jesus made disciples, when he had disciples, he didn't just choose one. He didn't choose two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight. He chose 12. 12 disciples. Why? Because if one was unmotivated, the other one was going to encourage him. He sent the disciples out in pairs of two so that they can motivate each other. Because he knew that if the one slips up, the other one is going to keep him accountable. If there wasn't going to be another one, no one's going to hold him accountable. And he's going to start messing up. And one day it's going to lead to two to three, four. It's going to build up and just lead to endless sin because there's no one holding him accountable. So that's why it's important for us to first know the person, because I can promise you, I can't go to the gym with someone who doesn't have the same motivation as me, someone who doesn't have the same mindset, someone who doesn't have the same morals. Because if I go to the gym because I want to get my health, I want to get my body healthy. If I go to the gym with someone else who wants to go to the gym because he wants the girls, that's not gonna work out. Because your motivations are different. He's gonna start telling you like, oh bro, come on, lift that, just imagine what the ladies are gonna think. And you're gonna be like, no, that's not why I'm working out. And that's gonna demotivate you. So you need a partner who has the same mindset, the same morals, and the same end goal, the same purpose as you. Someone who has a purpose that aligns with yours. You can't be in a relationship with someone that's halfway across the globe because that's their purpose. Their purpose is to go preach the gospel in China, and yours is to go preach the gospel all the way in Nigeria. That's physical separation. Your purposes do not align. Now, another point that I would like to add on this is, if you don't have the resources to enter into a relationship, then don't do it. What do I mean by resources? I mean wisdom. I mean understanding how to, like, understanding the person and also understanding how to sort out disagreements. If you don't know how to love, if you don't have the money, I'm not saying if you're poor don't enter into a relationship, but you need the resources. First, focus on yourself and get yourself, make sure that you're ready for a second person in your life. Because you can't enter into a relationship if you don't even have a solid income. Then you might as well be single. Because how do you expect to support that person? I'm not on the side of, those people that are like, you need 6 digits in your account before I can marry you or before I can enter a relationship with you. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you need enough. You need the resources. You need to be able to provide. You need the income to provide for two people. That's basic knowledge. That's basic math. Basic maths. That's logical. Like any normal human being would be able to think that. I can't provide for my little brother if I don't have the income to provide for him. Because that means I'm gonna have to compromise. I'm gonna have to it's either gonna be I'm gonna have to eat. There's gonna be nights that I'm gonna have to eat without food, or there's gonna be nights where he's gonna eat without food, and you're gonna compromise, and it's not gonna balance out. So you need the resources, physical and spiritual. You need to be spiritually mature. I'm talking to my fellow Christians right now. So if you're not a Christian, I'm sorry for you, but I'm not speaking to you right now. But you need to be spiritually mature, because if you're not spiritually mature, you're not going to have discernment. If you don't have discernment, you're not going to be able to discern whether your partner truly is a Christian or if he or she is only lukewarm. You need to be able to discern. So yeah, you're going to need spiritual wisdom, spiritual maturity, physical wisdom, physical maturity. You're going to need the resources, the money. You're going to need to know how to work with finances, how to work with your money, how to, you know, balance out your budget, how to stick to the budget. You're going to need to know how to cook. Because, bro, imagine your wife is sick one day and you're not even able to cook for her. I'm speaking to myself right now. I don't know how to cook. I only know how to make 2-minute noodles, pasta, and maybe rice. And maybe pop on a good day. But you see, that's why I'm still single. Because I don't have all the resources. You need to make sure that you have all of them. You can't miss a single resource, because that can end up destroying your relationship. And I don't know why most teenagers don't realize it. You can't just wing it. You can't just wing it when it's a relationship. When it comes to relationships, you can't just wing it. You can't just go with the flow. It's with another person's feelings and emotions. It's with another person that you're working with. You could be the reason why that person ends up with trauma. If you don't if you don't have the right resources, if you don't know how to handle a person, if you don't know how to work with a person, actually, excuse, you're gonna end up traumatizing that person and destroying that person's life. So please, guys, please, I want to see a change. I'm praying for a change in this generation. One where we are all, just one where this whole trend of sleeping with one guy and another woman and another woman, just this whole relationship story, this whole thing, this whole trend, I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm praying against that evil thing, man. Because I can tell you that's not from God, man. That's evil. That's from the devil. This whole culture, when it comes to relationships, nowadays, this whole culture is from the devil, man. The devil is trying to destroy us. And there's a bunch of people that has already given in. If you're one of those people, firstly, give your life to Christ. And secondly, break up with that person. First, fix yourself. Make sure that person fix herself before you get back into a relationship with that person. Or get out of a relationship with that person. Work on yourself and make sure you find the right person. Don't enter a relationship if you don't have the resources, if you don't have the money, if you don't even know that person. Because I can tell you, I can think of many, many people that I know right now. Many people that I know that they thought they knew their wife. They thought they knew their girlfriend. When they got married and they started living in the same house, yeah, they found out that person's true colors because they were hasty with it. Take a relationship, take it slowly. I can promise you, man, my game plan when it comes to a relationship. Let's say I like this person. What I would do with my experience, with my knowledge, with everything that I know. First of all, if I like a person, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go up to her. I'm gonna tell her, okay, first of all, let me. Before I go up to that person, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna like scan this person. I'm gonna make sure I know this person. Like, are they Christian? What are their morals? What are their beliefs? Okay, what are their beliefs? What are this? Make sure I know all the important stuff. Then I'm gonna go up to that person and be like, hey, I like you. Obviously, I'm gonna have to know that person for a long time, for a while. Be good friends with that person before I take the next step. And the next step is go up to her, tell her, hey, I like you, okay? But I have no intention of dating you now. I have no intention of entering into a relationship with you now. But I would like us to enter into a stronger friendship where the end goal is marriage. Think of it as Christian dating. But my mentor gave me this word that describes it beautifully. It's like godship. So it's first you enter into a friendship, then you enter into a godship, where it's a friendship with the intention of getting married one day. In a godly way. In a godly way, I mean that as to get married because you want to be with that person, so that person can keep you accountable and motivate you, and you can motivate each other and keep each other accountable at all times. That's what I mean when I'm talking about a godly marriage. So you enter into a godship. That's where you get to know that person even more. That's when you get to know the person's like relationship personality. That's when you get to know how their feelings work, how their emotions work, how that's when you get to know all these things. Do they want kids one day? Do they not? Basically dating, but in a Christian way. It's not dating. It's far from it actually, because you're still friends. If it was dating, hugs, kisses, and holding hands would have been appropriate. In a godship, that's not. The furthest you can go when you're in a godship is the hugs. And what my mentor told me is go for the neck with the hug. Not all of these funny business where you go down low. No, 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 no. That's not what you do in a godship. You go for the neck with the hug. No holding hands, no kissing. Because you're still friends. You're still friends. And then, when you've been in that godship for long enough, you enter into a marriage. And for me, if I have to like roughly estimate how long this whole process is gonna take, I would say the friendship part's gonna take at least 5 years. The godship part is gonna take at least 5 years, and then marriage. Or it would be even better. The longer, the better. The longer the better, because the longer you know a person, the more you know them, obviously. So that's my game plan. That's what I would do with my knowledge and understanding. That's what I deem acceptable. That's what I think is good. That's what I believe that God sees as appropriate. But obviously, if you're more mature, please comment on in the comment section. Spiritually mature, in this area. Please comment down below if I missed anything, or if I missed anything, and if also I messed up somewhere. But as a teenager myself, going through like courses and going through lessons and getting advice from church leaders and friends and people that are in the space that can give me advice on this. That's what I've learned, and best believe I'm not done learning when it comes to this. Best believe I'm not done learning. I still got more to learn. But for now, this is all I've learned. I'm sharing it with you. And please, 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 don't follow the culture. Don't follow the trend. Don't date because it's popular. Don't date because it's the newest thing in school. No, man. Be different. Be unique. You're your own person. Don't try to be like someone else. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Long video, huh? My videos have just been getting longer and longer recently, turning into whole sermons. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. You know? And yo, remain blessed. Shalom.